Oh man, just when you thought the GPU market couldn't get even worse, that 2020 was behind us, and we should see an improvement. Well, unfortunately, I've got some bad news for you. Let's discuss that in this video. Hey, if you enjoy content like this, drop a like, make sure to subscribe, and smash that bell so you never miss another video. Hey, what is going on guys? Danny here, welcome back to the channel and I hope you've all been doing well. Recently I discussed my discontent with the CPU market, especially surrounding the Ryzen 5000 series, but did also express the horrible state in which the GPU market was already in. Unless you've been sleeping under a rock for like the last 4 months, then you're probably aware that buying a graphics card has been much more trivial than it should be. Since Nvidia and AMD launched their newest graphics cards, those being the RTX 3000 and RX 6000 series respectively, they've been near impossible to get, with many going as far as to calling them paper launches. And I can definitely sympathize with them, as people who, for example, have been trying to purchase an RTX 3080 since launch have been unable to do so due to the horrible supply and insane demand. These cards come into stock and within seconds they're sold out. Now, whether or not actual customers are buying them or they're getting sniped by bots and scalpers, it's a different discussion, but point is, they're constantly going out of stock. You can't go to your nearest hardware store to buy them as they're not readily available. In fact, here in Ontario, we're undergoing another lockdown, so all the retailers have told us they're available online only now. This horrible supply situation has been a result of a combination of things such as the worldwide pandemic, lockdowns, manufacturers working in limited capacity, shortage of components, as well as some other things. Along with that, this supply and demand situation has caused prices to go up considerably more than MSRP. So good luck trying to find an RTX 3060 Ti for $400 or Ryzen 9 5900X for $550. I have gone over this in more detail in my previous videos as to what's been going on, so I recommend checking them out, but that's been the situation in a nutshell. Now, there have been a couple of developments in the GPU market that will now cause prices to go up even further and make the situation even more dire, which just sucks considering how bad it already was. The first has to do with the tariffs and duties which were imposed on companies from the US trade representative that were coming from China. So this meant stuff like technology transfer, hardware, semiconductor components, intellectual property, and innovation. All this has been affected or will be affected. Now, there were some exclusions, and this included components like graphics cards, video cards, motherboards. However, in the summary, they specifically mentioned that this notice amends the exclusion process by establishing August 7th, 2020 as a uniform expiration date for all exclusions granted under the $200 billion action. The technical amendments in Annex B to the $200 billion and $300 billion actions are effective as of the respective effective dates of those actions. U.S. Customs and Border Protection will issue instructions on entry guidance and implementation. Following that, an official ASUS representative put out the following statement on their Facebook page. Update regarding MSRP pricing for ASUS components in 2021. This update applies to graphics cards and motherboards. We have an announcement in regards to MSRP price changes that are effective in early 2021 for our award-winning series of graphics cards and motherboards. Our new MSRP reflects increases in costs for components, operating costs, and logistical activities, plus a continuation of import tariffs. We worked closely with our supply and logistic partners to minimize price increases. ASUS greatly appreciates your continued business and support as we navigate through this time of unprecedented market change. Additional models may see an increase as we moved further into Q1. This has already started to take effect, and you can see this for yourselves as you go to ASUS's North American website and take a look at their GPU listing along with their prices. Let's take a look at the ASUS RTX 3080 models they've got, starting with the TUF Gaming OC model, which this card is now being listed for $860 US. That is $160 above MSRP. This card used to go for around $750 US, and even though that was still above MSRP, it was manageable and acceptable, and what I'd call justifiable considering it's well built, but $160 above? I don't know in what universe someone can justify that. Moving on, and then we have their top of the line ROG Strix model, which is going for a whopping $930 US. That's $230 above MSRP. Following that, we've got the special white version, which is an extra $120 for some reason. $1,049 for an RTX 3080? This is just beyond ridiculous now. Okay, what about the RTX 3090? Well, you're looking at nearly $2,000 for the ROG Strix 3090. This is just crazy. And guys, keep in mind that these are just ASUS's official MSRP listings, and we're already starting to see these newer, higher prices take effect at popular retailers like Newegg. Here they have the RTX 3090 Strix white version listed for the same as what ASUS has listed it on their website. Also, keep in mind, this doesn't just apply to one AIB manufacturer, but you guys can see this being the case for all other AIBs too. EVGA, MSI, Zotac, doesn't matter. You can expect all of these brands to follow suit, and you should expect to see higher prices relatively soon. So don't think it's just ASUS graphics cards which are being sold at marked up prices. Now, since we're on that subject, even though most of this applies to the US, with how inbred the technology market is, you can expect this to have an effect on the market worldwide, as the manufacturers will find multiple ways to make up for the increased costs. 100% us Canadians and, people living in Mexico will be impacted, as all of the North American distribution happens from the US. Just take a look at what Newegg Canada is listing the RTX 3090 Strix for. $2,700, which after regional taxes can be almost up to $3,000 or a little bit above that, which is just insane for a graphics card. Asus TUF Gaming RTX 3080 listed at CC for $1,100. I fully remember not so long ago, this particular model used to cost around $950 to $990 Canadian dollars. I'm just astonished at this point. Just when you thought the whole situation was at its worst or we had hit rock bottom, the floor, we learn about this. But it gets worse. Remember, I said there were two things we had to worry about that would make the GPU prices go up. Another crypto mining boom. You see, this is actually pretty funny. It's like when you're playing a video game, you're in an intense boss battle, and just when you think you're going to pull through, the boss gets these powerful buffs out of nowhere and just curb stomps you into the ground, giving you no hope of winning. That's what this feels like right now. Because if there was another way to make this abysmal situation even worse, it would be another crypto mining boom. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but Bitcoin has just recently hit an all-time high where it reached 34K hours after shooting through the 30K barrier. Now, this crypto mining boom is a little bit different than the one we had back in 2017 and early 2018. During that period, every currency, even the most worthless BS altcoins, were skyrocketing in value. The whole market was in a state of a bull run. This time, it's not like that. While Bitcoin has shot up like crazy in value, a lot of alts haven't really followed in the same way. In fact, many of the currencies which were booming in the previous mining boom have barely increased at all. Now, what does this have to do with GPUs? Well, miners use graphics cards to mine some of these cryptocurrencies, and depending on where you are in the world, how much you pay for electricity, it can be a profitable operation. Now, obviously, nobody is using GPUs to mine Bitcoin as it's not profitable, and there are dedicated ASIC miners for that, and you do need a whole bunch of them to at least be profitable, that is. However, if you take a look at miner stats, RTX 30 series GPUs are quite effective at mining Ethereum. Apart from Bitcoin, Ethereum is another currency which has skyrocketed in value. And recently, video cards also shared some pictures of an RTX 3080 mining rig. Just look at that. There are like 78 RTX 3080s there. I guess now we know where all the supply went, right? Well, according to TechArt, this mining rig has been estimated to make about 20K a month with the current value of Ethereum. And that's just one mining rig, and there are probably countless setups out there just like this one. Just insane. So regardless of high GPU prices, whether it's scalpers or miners, the supply is going to be gobbled up, and this is why it seems like there's never any GPUs in stock. There's just so much demand now that honestly, as your average consumer, you can't even hope to buy an RTX 3080. I don't know about you guys, but at this point, it's just comical. The supply and demand situation was already bad as it was. Then on top of that, we have GPU prices going up due to tariffs and high import costs, and now another crypto mining boom. So yeah, 2021 so far isn't looking so great right now. At this point, what can you do? You either have to pay these insane prices, wait for the market to come back down to earth, which, who knows when that will be, or, just ride it out with whatever you currently have until next gen. At this point, might as well just wait until the RTX 4000 series and RDNA 3. I hope you guys found this video to be informative and helpful. Let me know your thoughts down below. Check out the video description on ways to support the channel and for my other videos. If you guys are interested in more content like this, then make sure you're subscribed. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.